All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble episode number 81, the Silver Slam Dunker with our guy down here, Devin Smith. Before we get into that, a couple disclaimers. Number one, I had a super late game last night and I announced two games. So if I look raspy or I look like I'm stoned, I promise I've never smoked a joint in my entire life. So just putting that out there. Also, all opinions are those of the panelists and the guests, and Take a Shot Media Crew is not responsible for what is said or what is displayed during the show. With that said, let's have a lot of fun. I don't know how any of us are awake right now with getting home at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and daylight savings on top of that, but we're all here, damn it. So, first off, over to my right, looks like your left on the screen is the man, the myth, the legend, the cameraman with the plan, the go baller, George Ochoa. George, what's up, dude?
What's going on, man? Good morning. How you guys doing?
Dawson. About to pass out.
Even though, yeah, yeah,
Show must go
got
on,
like a
though.
few hours of sleep last night.
That if that show must go on. Always remember that. Speaking of which, this guy is a showman. This guy is a walking highlight reel. We've been advertising him during the week. He's out of Tucson, Arizona. He's a hooper. He's played in the ABA, the Mecca. He's played out in Morocco, which is pretty cool. He's played for a team called the Arizona Heat, Heet, which I want to learn about. That'd be kind of cool. He's a foodie. He also loves art, poetry, and comics. And he has an obsession with the Silver Surfer. I don't know why, but hey, I can't wait to find out. Devin Smith, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, everybody, this is Devin Smith. If you watched our videos on Take a Shot Media Crew, we did a game out in January, which we'll talk about later. But Devin got the game-winning shot, and he got the game-winning steal. And I think me and George were literally jumping into the crowd after that. It was absolutely insane. So that's where we met this cool guy right here. So, and you might see him in the Hounds playoff game this weekend out in San Diego. So, fingers crossed.
That's the plan.
That's right. All right. So, Devin, dude, we just gave a little rundown about you, but what we didn't talk about was your background. We didn't talk about childhood. We didn't talk about you said you're in Tucson, but that's all we know. So if you could do me a giant favor, if you could just give us a little like 2, 3 minute rundown who the heck Devin Smith is. Did he play Pee Wee basketball? Does he have family members that played hoops? Stuff like that. Maybe some cool educational um information we might need to know, and then we'll just bounce off you. No pun intended on basketball. We'll just bounce off you and have some fun. So, Devin Smith, the floor is yours, my dude.
All right, so I'm from Houston, Texas. Born in, February 2nd, 2002, hence is where I wear the jersey number 22, All right,
Okay.
all right. But my mom played basketball at Florida State,
Oh,
and
cool.
my dad ran track at LSU.
Oh, this makes sense now.
Yeah. But I didn't start playing basketball until my junior year of high school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was football and
Oh,
baseball.
late bloomer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so football and baseball like my whole life. And then I moved to a different school, or I got recruited to play at a prep school in Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, so played at a prep school, and the coach there, Coach Prelude, best coach I ever played for. He played with Richard Jefferson. He's played
Cool.
at Louisville, so he's very high pedigree coach, and he got me my junior year when I was there. I was just, athlete, throw a lob from half court, go steal, dunk, rebound, just do all that stuff. But that summer, completely changed my game. Played in a circuit for the EYBL for DBR, excuse me. But and I fell in love with competing. So it's just like I'm a competitor. I want to guard the best player. I want the best player to guard me. I want to go at everybody. Just stuff like that. It's just like I can't turn off the competitiveness. Like everything I do is like competitive. Like whether it's playing Uno
Oh,
to
God.
whether I'm or Uno or fishing.
I
Like,
love Uno.
yeah, grew up on a little ranch, so I'm a little farm boy, stuff like that. Just not too crazy. I was like, just a regular life of a Texan, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
From the South.
Okay. I can work off of this. All right. So you said you're from Houston, Texas, which is funny you say, you're in a ranch or a cowboy. It's also a big city town as well.
for
So
sure.
2002, that's when I graduated. Damn, you make me feel old. All right. You grew
You
up on
are
a
old.
Shut up, George. You grew up on a ranch. So, you know what? That sounds really cool to a lot of people, but damn, that sounds like a lot of work. Was your
It
dad the
is.
one that got you up at 5 a.m., go feed the
Well,
chickens,
yeah,
stuff like that?
it was my grandpa, my uncle,
Grandpa, uncle. Okay.
and so it's just like, but that's what instilled my like
Hmm.
work ethic. So it's just like no excuse whether I'm tired or whether I don't feel good or whatever. Work's got to get done regardless.
Hmm.
So like that's how I approach everything, whether it's basketball or going to work or just life in general. Just like,
Hmm.
hey, like the world doesn't stop moving. This got to get done. Let's
Yeah.
get done now.
100. Exactly. So, random question. Wow. What was the hardest animal to work with?
Me personally, for me, it was the pigs.
I love pigs.
They're
Why
very
are they so good?
stubborn.
Really?
They're stubborn,
Okay.
stubborn and
And they
dirty.
smell.
Yes,
Yeah, of course
bad.
well, a lot of farm animals do.
And they
No, but pigs smell worse.
we had a pig named Pepper. She used to
Okay.
run through the house. She would run out her pen, run through the house, and like she would undercut the back of everybody's knees.
Oh no.
And so everybody, my family's pretty tall, so it's just
Yeah,
like everybody's like, getting trampled over by this little pig.
that's
But
hilarious. Was she a piglet then, or was she full
no,
grown at
she's
that time? She was
huge.
full
She was a
grown.
potbelly pig.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah,
Dang, that's a huge pig.
yeah,
That's funny. That's some TikTok video stuff right there.
yeah. So it was very. She had a lot of personality.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, my cousin got married to a farmer, and I'm talking like acres and acres, growing cattle. Like you walk out your front door and there's cows staring at you, type farmer out in Illinois. So I've seen it. It's crazy, dude. It's a
It
crazy
is.
lifestyle, but it like you said, it instills that ethics,
Yeah.
that business ethics, that you have to push yourself to get up to do what you got to
Right.
do because these animals are depending on you. So, and I don't like talking about this part, but did you guys raise them to sell or
Oh, well, yeah. So our
okay, you're cattle
cows,
farmers?
yeah,
Okay.
we had cows, pigs, ducks, uh, what are them? Goats, and then we
Okay.
had what are them things
Sheep.
called? You said what?
You said like what sheeps?
We had a couple. We wasn't really big on the sheeps, like, but
Okay.
they're very like they're they use their free will a lot.
Hmm.
So they will wander wherever they want to go. And then my uncle tried to buy a couple, but they ended up getting caught by a couple of Yotes. So that
Oh
was,
no. Yeah, we get
yeah,
those out. You
Oh,
guys have a lot of
coyotes.
coyotes out there.
yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of coyotes in Arizona. They even have
I
a hockey.
mean,
They had a hockey team
and
named
yeah,
after
I
them.
think that's how they came up with the name, the Arizona Coyotes for
Yeah,
hockey,
yeah,
correct?
yep.
Because they have a
Who are
bunch.
now the Utah Mammoth.
The Utah Mammoth.
I
I was
love
just
that.
watching them last night.
That logo is amazing. I love that logo.
Yeah, I have a few
Still gotta
coyotes
get that
back
hat.
there too.
Dude, we get coyotes out here all the time because we have like hills. I know George is out in the
Hmm.
San Fernando Valley. I'm out more in the city and about 20 minutes from LA. But
Yeah,
we're by
where I
the
live is like in the mountain area, so
Yeah,
like yeah, there is a lot of
he's in
coyotes.
Mountain and I'm in like the Whittier Hills area, like 5 minute, 10 minutes away, and we get coyotes that come out all the time. So you gotta be, little dogs, little cats, gotta be careful with that stuff. We got hawks a lot, falcons,
Oh, I'm sure.
stuff like that. We had a random owl in our backyard a couple weeks ago, just
Oh,
chilling.
for real?
Yeah, just chilling. So, not a big deal for my husky, but for my chihuahua, yeah, we had to bring
I'm
her in.
sure.
So so that's cool, dude. I couldn't do it. I respect you 100,000% for that. Like I said, I stayed at my cousin's for like a week and I was just like worked. I'm a city boy, bro. I'm a city boy. I'm a people person. I love animals. Don't get me wrong. I love pigs. Pigs are one of my favorite animals.
Got two dogs
But
at home.
yeah, I got two dogs, two cats, plus the neighbor cats that always come over. At one time in my life, we had like 15 animals. Like we had, oh God, I can't remember, four dogs, four cats, two rabbits, and like five fish and two birds or something like that. It was insane. Yeah, this was years ago, many moons ago. But I could barely handle that. I can only imagine trying to handle a farm. But like you said, it instills a work ethic. So we'll carry that over. So you said, and obviously you got really hard athletic work ethic because mom went to FSU, dad went to LSU, two very distinct universities. And both for sports, you said dad ran track. What did dad do in track?
He was a high jumper.
Oh, cool. Oh,
Yeah.
it makes sense now who you are. And if you guys don't know, Devin's not super tall, but this dude can dunk. I'm just saying, watch his videos. Watch his
A high
videos.
flyer.
Yes, that's why it's a silver slam dunker. All right. So back to childhood really quick. We talked about being a farmer. Was school life cool? Were you going from school to school? We get a lot of people who are like,
Yeah.
army brats and stuff like that, but how was
Well,
school?
no, school was fine. I was homeschooled until like sixth
Oh,
grade.
oh
So
wow.
after that, yeah. So then after that, sixth grade, I just, went to, regular old middle school, had a regular kid life for a little
Mhm.
bit, went to go stay with my auntie in the city for a little bit.
Okay.
And it was cool. Like I was like, oh, like I missed being homeschooled, but it was like
Okay.
it was a new adaptation for me because I was very like introverted. So it was just fun.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right,
I
right.
would not get that
Mm.
vibe from you.
But
Okay.
I had to learn when I got to college. I had to learn to be a little more
Yeah.
extroverted.
Okay.
Social, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what, you said you adapted to it, but what was like the adaptation process? Because we got a lot of people who do that. My cousin has like six kids, I believe, and they're all homeschooled.
Oh yeah,
But if they had to go to high school, I don't know how that would go,
right.
I get a
It was
lot of
just. Oh, go ahead, too. My
no, go
fault.
ahead. Go ahead, go ahead.
It's just like very I don't know. I guess like getting social cues and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
just like or like going to go talk to people because mind you it was just me and my little brother, so it's like
Okay.
me and my little brother would be at home just textbooks and stuff like that, and now I'm in a class with like
Okay, got you.
20, 30 kids, and I'm just like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
like,
And you
this
got
is.
it. That's probably how the COVID era probably felt.
Oh, I
The
loved it.
kinders and COVID. I hated it.
I loved it.
I had the worst year for COVID. My son was in third or fourth grade, which are like one of the hardest classes. I absolutely despised it. He would get in trouble for turning his chair the wrong way because he'd be in
Oh,
like an office chair. I'm like, are you serious? I told the teacher, I'm literally sitting behind him. Like, you need to chill. Like, this is crazy. Oh, they would get in
You
trouble
were
for the
you
dumbest shit, dude. I will never forget that till
you
the
said
day
you
I
did that,
die.
Ricky?
I did. And I was like, I'm literally behind him. You need to chill. Like, calm down. Because if you don't,
Damn,
so
Ricky.
Devin, my son went through a lot. I'm divorced with his mom. We're cool now, but we were divorced, and we got divorced when he was in kindergarten, and this was about third grade. So he had a really tough first couple years in elementary school. He got transferred from one class to another, and then of course they built a reputation around him, and he's totally come out of his shell since then. But just that should not have happened.
I feel
But he was very fidgety. He had to do like chewy products like for his fidgeting. Fidget spinners was big back then. So he had his fidget spinner in school legally. Like they can't stop you if you guys didn't know that. If you have a fidget spinner, you can take it to school. People cannot take it from you,
I did
especially
not know that.
doctors. See, you can. It is illegal. Um, like if you have ADHD, which my son doesn't have, but if you have anything that's diagnosed, or even if you don't, you are allowed to have a fidget spinner at school. We looked it all up. So
Wow.
crazy stuff like that. And then COVID kids, and then they jump in 2 years later and they're going to, middle school, high school. It's a huge culture shock.
Oh, for sure.
So that's cool though. That's cool because then you got you experience both things. You could tell, your kids later on, your grandkids, if they want to do homeschool, okay, this is what I went through. This is how it usually works. You're gonna see grandpa all day. Like if grandpa's
Yeah.
your teacher, it's gonna be like that. Or if you go to public school, this is what you're gonna go through, and then go through those things. But okay, so you got the best of both worlds there. A little shout out to Hannah Montana. All right. Sorry, I'm a weirdo like that. All right. So childhood's good. Did you play?
Man, I forgot about that show.
Bro, she has her 20th anniversary coming out in a couple weeks. I'm low key excited. You guys can say what you want. I'm excited. I'm a big Disney nut, so um
Whatever floats your
childhood,
boat.
bro, shut up. You go to Disney all the time. All right. Um now you threw me off. Childhood. Did you play Pee-wee? You said you didn't play till sophomore or junior year in high school
I didn't say,
or
yeah, I didn't start playing basketball until my junior year.
Oh
I got
wow.
recruited. Yeah, I got recruited to go play at a school in Phoenix.
Okay.
So I was out here for a little bit, but during my childhood, I grew up playing baseball and I grew up playing football. So
Okay.
just like, growing up on a ranch and everything, it's just like that's all that is available. It's
Right,
like
especially in Texas.
yeah. So
Texas is
it's
football
like
and baseball.
so it's just like, it's like when I got done being homeschooled and I moved to the city, it was very like like basketball was introducing. My mom's always wanted me to play basketball.
Hmm.
Like she begged me. She like,
Of
I'm not gonna
course.
make you do it. And she's like, please, please,
I'll
please
just
play basketball.
try.
Did she buy
Yeah.
you one of those play school basketballs like when you was like a kid or a
Oh
toddler?
yeah, yeah,
The
I had
one on the
those.
wall.
Yeah, I had that.
The one on the wall with the rubber basketball?
There you
Yeah,
go.
we had that. We had the little tight hoop. Like we had all that stuff. Like I enjoyed it, but I was like, at the time, I'm like, this is not for me. So like, I
Yeah.
was like, I'm cool.
Mm,
Like I want to go. I want to hit the ball, and I want to hit someone else.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's all we what's it called? So
Yeah.
growing up on the range, it's always available. No basketball courts. We're like maybe like 45, 50 minutes away from the city. So it's just
Hmm.
it's cool. But when I was playing at a rec center, and then this coach comes up to me and he's talking to me. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "I see a lot of potential in you." He's like, "You're athletic. You're doing all this stuff like the other kids aren't doing." Yada yada yada. And I was just like, he's like, "I have a school out in Phoenix."
Mm.
He's like, "I want you to come out here for a week. We have a little team house. Like you stay there and just work out with the team for a week and just let me know how you feel about it."
Hmm.
I was like, "Okay." I had no idea how prep basketball worked.
Yeah, that's Die Hard right there.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay. I told my mom, and she's like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I just want to try it out. And I got there, found out the school had no football team. And I was like, oh, I was like, okay. So I
Like,
didn't do all my research, but it was just basketball. Like we wake up 5 a.m., weights, 5:45, we're on the court. And then it was just like a routine. And then we would sit there and it's just like summer was so crazy because I was introduced to 3-a-days.
oh,
And I was just like, and coach like was a very like trying to think of his coaching style. He was just very like he didn't give a shit what was going on. He's like if nothing's not broken or you're not bleeding,
right, you're
yeah,
playing.
yeah, exactly. So he was just like, come on, let's get to this. But he was also very technical. Like he was very like, hey, he's like,
strategic,
yeah. So
strategic.
strategic and
Yeah.
like very like fundamental.
Hmm.
And he assigned me a trainer and the trainer, I didn't know there was like so much like certain footwork that goes into basketball and
Hmm.
certain just stuff like that. And I was just like, made the game a whole lot easier for me because, and then after that, like I became obsessed because like I can't do anything regularly. I have like a addictive personality or whatever it's called. So it's just like, okay, I love this. I enjoy doing this. And I'm like, and I love the process of getting better. Like
Hmm.
the whole time, I was like, I just want to be the best player I can possibly be. I had
Yeah.
no idea where it was going to take me, but I was just like, I'm like, I'm here for it.
Hmm.
I'm like, got a couple of offers when I was my senior year and stuff like that. My mom was so excited, she thought I was going to go to FSU, and
Oh God.
but I didn't. I was like, I don't know what's going on with COVID, all the other stuff. So
That's
it's like,
right. That was your college time was around Yeah.
well, yeah. So I was just like,
Crazy.
I was like, man, I was like, I'm not going to commit anywhere right now. I was like, we'll see what happens, in the summer.
All right. Yeah, those schools don't mess around, bro. You know what it reminds me of is if you've ever watched the news show Bel Air,
I have not.
it's really, really good.
Really?
But just like with the old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it shows when Will went to this like summer basketball school camp, and then Uncle Phil's like, "Well, you got to keep your grades up. You got to keep doing this. You got to keep doing that." But this school is like every freaking day, every morning, everything, you know.
Oh
So that's the vibe I'm getting from the school you're just talking about. So,
yeah.
real quick, I'm a multi-sport athlete. George's a multi-sport athlete. Football, baseball. Let's see. I get running back vibes, maybe DB back. No, what do we for
Nah,
football?
I played receiver, safety, and defensive end.
Defensive end. Okay, I was
Oh
good
yeah.
till defensive end. Okay,
Oh yeah.
defensive end. All
That's where
right.
his defense came from basketball.
Oh yeah, definitely. There you go. We'll get into that. And then baseball. What for baseball?
I was a closing pitcher.
Closing pitcher.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yes,
so
sir. So
that
again,
yeah,
taking
that was my favorite.
control.
Yeah.
Yep. You got
Yeah.
that
So
Mason Miller vibe, kind of
uh,
short in stature, but fiery and just out there ready. Billy Wagner. Oh, that's a better example for you
there
because
you
you're from
go.
Houston. Billy Wagner, one of my favorite closers of all time, used to pitch for the Astros. He pitched for the Braves and Mets. He's in the Hall of Fame. Um, And you know the story about Billy Wagner? He actually was a right-hander growing up, broke his arm, started throwing with his left, and then he ended up throwing as he got older. When he hit the pros, he was hitting 100, 101, throwing left-handed. Yeah, it's a freaking crazy story. His son plays for the Blue Jays, I think, right now. So, okay, cool. So I gotta ask you real quick, total random. I'm in random mode today. You're from Houston. In 2002, you were born, so you probably started watching hoops around what, 2005, like knowing it, five,
Like
six, maybe.
I would like sit there and watch because my mom was she was on the so before she got injured, she was on a WNBA roster.
Oh my God, you didn't say that. That's even more
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay.
Crazy.
What, the
But
Comets?
yeah,
It
it
was,
was the comments.
oh,
Yeah.
she played for the
It was the
what?
Comets
Yeah.
That's
So
for
badass.
Cheryl
That
Swoops.
was one of
yeah.
my favorite teams.
What is it? Tina Thompson,
Yeah, that team was
Well,
fire.
she was
Cynthia
in training
Cooper.
camp. She was in training camp. And then
She still gets
she's
to say she played with the
yeah.
Comets.
And
That's
then
awesome.
Right.
she tore her ACL, her meniscus, and like all that. So it's just
That's
like,
it.
yeah.
That
So she was
That
done, and
that's
she was
still
just like,
badass though, dude. That's
yeah.
one of the legendary teams right there, dude.
No one will never have that opportunity.
That team
At
was
least you could
fire.
say she tried out for the Comets.
That
Oh yeah.
team was
So
absolute fire.
yeah, we grab water.
Yo, grab some. Yeah, that's wild. Oh my God, that is crazy. So, okay, first off, that's totally awesome. The reason I was asking was because you're from Houston, back, well, let's say 2005, 2006. 2006, the Astros were actually, I believe, 2005, 6, they were in the World Series, I believe. That was the year they lost. Oh, five, they lost to the White Sox. It's the year the Angels should have been in, but that's beside the point. We're not getting into that. But anyway, AJ Pierzynski, that's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, but they played the White Sox,
Ricky's butt hurt.
the Cinderella White Sox that year with AJ Pierzynski, and Bobby Jenks, RIP Bobby Jenks. Um,
Thunder White Sox is crazy.
well, it was the White Sox, bro. That's what they were.
I
No one
know.
expected them to make it, and then they ended up winning the whole damn thing against the Astros, who had Roger Clemens, Andy Pettit, Billy Wagner. They had that killer
Mhm.
team. So growing up with the Astros, we got the Dodgers out here. We have the Angels too, but let's be real. I'm an Angels fan. I always have been. But let's be real. The Dodgers is a team out here. But having the Astros, a World
That's
Series
right.
team back then, how was that? And did you get to go to any playoff games that you remember?
So Minute Maid Park favorite,
Daikin
yeah,
Park. Let's not get sued.
yeah.
I hate
But
that name, by the way.
my
Anyway, go
favorite,
on.
my favorite is like, especially during the World Series where we beat the Dodgers. Uh,
Oh, shots
yeah, just
fired.
Dang.
saying.
You do
You know,
realize we're in California,
Hey,
right?
at
oh yeah.
least
Shots fired,
at least
y'all.
we won
Oh
the last
my
two World
God.
Series though. But
And
go
and
ahead.
all I'm gonna say, Dev, all I'm gonna say, we're friends, we're cool. Where's your trash can? Where's your trash can? Go get it.
Hey,
Go get it.
you're not cheating if you're not playing, you're not cheating.
Twice. Oh no, no,
Yeah.
once. 17, and then Alex Cora went to Boston and did the same thing. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's the cheaters.
Boston went to the same.
That's a cheaters team. That's
Bro,
why I don't call them the Houston
I call
Astros.
them the
I call it
Asterix.
the cheater team.
I call them the Asterix. Sorry.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Because
the
we're
All
going
right.
to
Asterix
Angel
even better.
Stadium. Drew's coming on right now. Oh, perfect timing.
Cheaters.
Drew's about to come on right now, and
What, Altuve?
Drew is a baseball.
Love Altuve. I
Oh,
got a couple
you
of
know
his
what?
jerseys.
Huh?
I liked
Oh my
Altuve.
gosh.
Okay, we're gonna get Drew
That's
on.
coming back to me.
Okay, well, Altuve, I used to respect. I'm part Puerto Rican, so the Latino vibe, the
I
being
don't.
smart, being short. Well, let me finish my story, fool. Anyway, and I worked at Angel Stadium for 16
Go
years,
ahead.
so I've seen things. I've been in the round. I've been the playoff years. I've been with everyone. I literally got hired the year after we won the World Series. So I got hired in the last place year. But then I was there for the year in 2014 where we had the best record, but then ended up playing the Royals in the first round. So that sucked because they won the World Series that year. Or no, they went to the World Series that year.
Yeah.
Um,
They won in
they won in 15. They won
2015.
in
Yeah.
15 because the Giants won in 14.
Yeah. And then the
Um,
Cubs won in 16.
yep. Oh, I got a story about that too. Um, so I totally, you brought it up, so I'm gonna talk
Another
about it.
Ricky's
No,
rants.
no, it's not. Well, it is kind of a rant. You'll hear me, George. George knows I don't like to pause live sports. Okay? There's your setup. I have ESPN updates. I had to go do something with my dog for, I shit you not, 1 minute. I don't know what was wrong with her. I had to go check on her. I went outside. I paused it for Like not even a minute, 30 seconds. Mind you, the Cubs have not won the World Series in 108 years or whatever it was.
Yeah.
My
It's a long
damn
time.
phone. Okay, I watch the game, everything's going good. My fucking ESP, oh, excuse my language. The freaking ESPN alert goes off before the ground ball to third base to Chris Bryant. I was so pissed because remember Cleveland had her man on base. They were down by what, one? And it goes, Cubs win the first World Series since 1908, blah, blah, blah. And then the ground ball happens on my TV. Oh, dude, I was so pissed. I was so
But
mad.
I'm a big Chris Bryant fan, by the way.
I like Chris Bryant. I feel he's underrated, and if he didn't get injured, he would have gone a lot further. So, yeah. So Drew should be getting on. He just said he's getting on in a little bit, and if he does, we're gonna have to go back to Astros because he's a diehard Padres fan. So
Ah,
he lives in San Diego.
Oh, he has stories.
He has stories as well, and he worked for the Padres for a number of years too, 10 years I think. And here he comes. All right, so and then we'll go back to basketball, I promise. We're very random here, but
it's
we
all
are
good.
professional. So Drew's coming on.
Hmm.
He's our business guy. So he might talk a little business. You've probably seen, you maybe
The
seen him.
GOAT.
That's not him. There he is. All right.
My
All
bad.
right, so Agent Drew's here, guys, and we can't blame him because we started early. So, Drew, we were talking. Okay, first off, background. He's from Houston, Texas, born in 2002, not 2022. Grew up on a ranch. Mom went to FSU and tried out for the Houston Comets. Dad ran track at LSU. He's played football, baseball. His coach played with Richard Jefferson. He's homeschooled till sixth grade and then went to a public school after that. So that's where we are right now. We started talking baseball, football, baseball. He's an
And
Astros fan, and he
and it,
actually
and
was
his mom
around
used to
during that
try for the
area.
Houston
I
Comets.
just said that, but yeah. See, he doesn't listen to me. He doesn't like me. Anyway,
I know I
but
don't
we
like
were
you.
we were talking about the trash cans, and he said, "If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying." So I'll bring that to you, Drew, because you're a big Padres fan. What do you got to say about the trash
Come on,
cans?
Drew.
He hates.
Okay, if you're not cheating, wait. If you're not cheating, you're
Cheating, you're
not,
not trying.
bro. That's like Eddie Guerrero kind of stuff.
Yes, that's Texas also, El Paso right there. Eddie
So,
Guerrero.
I agree
so
with
Not
that.
cheating
if you're
shit.
not cheating or trying is whatever. But I mean, the trash can, Oscar the Grouches. I'm gonna call him over there. You
Oh
know
my God.
what? You
You still
know,
got to hit the ball,
Oscar
man.
the Grouch is what that is true. But give me a break, Devin. Altuve hits the home run against Chapman, a guy who throws 103, and every game for the whole season, you can't deny this. Every game for the whole season, he rips his jersey off when he goes home. He's coming around that corner and they go to rip his shirt off and he does this. Come on, Devin. Tell me
Hey,
that's
bro.
not controversial, bro. Come
I don't
on.
think so. You know,
Whatever.
maybe he just didn't feel like
No,
celebrating.
Oh
no,
no,
I'm
no,
just saying, man.
absolutely
no,
not.
no,
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
well,
no,
according to
bro.
Altuve, the reason why he didn't want it ripped off was
Wife
supposedly
or
he had
something.
a chest tattoo. Come on, bro.
So, no.
Come on,
Hey,
Get
man.
a
Come
better
on.
story, bro.
Chest
Get a better
tattoo.
Come
story.
on. Come on.
Me and Drew have seen our share of controversy at baseball games, trust me. But this
Yeah.
one was
oh, me
obvious.
too.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Padres, so I
Uh-oh.
used
Here
to
we
work
go.
for I worked for the Diamondbacks before
Oh,
I went to
cool.
Morocco. Right.
That's
I
my that's
was
my that's my NL team. Okay, go
okay.
on.
I was Manny Machado. I was on the third baseline and I was falling asleep because the game was boring. But I was falling asleep and Manny Machado hit a ball that went up the third baseline and it like zipped across my face.
Nice. Woke you
And
up.
yeah, no, for sure. And then it was only in the third inning, by the way.
Oh,
But
nice.
he after the game came up to me, talked to me, gave me a signed ball. He's like, "You want a bat?" I was like, "I think the ball is good enough." I'm like, "I don't know if I can sneak out of here with a bat." I was
Yeah,
like,
right. Oh, we get fired at Angels if we did something like that.
"Right,
Carry
exactly."
on. Yeah,
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
funny.
I worked for the Padres for 10 years. And obviously, I would get autographs every once in a while when I could, but I wouldn't pursue them.
Right.
I
Yeah.
would make sure that
Very
it was the
awkward.
player who gave it to me.
Yeah.
Trevor Hoffman, his boys would constantly talk to me and his nephews.
Hmm.
So they were always like, "Oh, you want a ball? You want something like that?" So I'd be
Yeah.
like,
That's
if
different. Yeah.
he's gonna offer it,
Yeah.
and the same thing would happen. I ran into Tony Gwynn, R.I.P. to him.
Yeah.
So many Dave Winfield, Steve Garvey, Jerry Coleman. I could just go on. The list
Yeah.
goes on.
Likewise.
And what I would do is I would be there so early before I would have to even work my shift. that I'd be out just sitting during batting practice, and the players would just come up and talk, or we'd get foul balls. And what I would
Mhm.
do with the majority of them is I would pocket them,
Kids.
and then during the game, you see like a 2 year old or a
Give them to
little
kids.
3 year old,
Yeah.
and I'd
Same.
hand them off to the kids because
Yeah.
I'm like, they're gonna treasure this more than like an
Yeah.
adult. So
Yeah.
it was like that. They come back to another game and they'd be like, "Oh my God!" They'd be all excited about another ball or having a ball.
Hmm.
It was just that memory, and
And
that's what our management team was always about, was making major league
hmm
memories
hmm
with those fans. It's like we can't control the outcome of a game,
Of
but we
course.
could definitely make someone have a memorable night.
Yeah. We called it A+ experience over here.
So it
So
was
I
it was
agree.
great there.
Yeah.
So much baseball. I mean, over 900 games I
Yeah.
did over there, so it was crazy.
Yeah. So Devin, you're lucky we like you, or you'd be getting the boot right now. Yeah, nobody likes the Astros out here. I'm sorry. It's the truth. And you
I
know what? It's
know.
I
funny.
called the cheaters team. I don't know. I
It's
called the
funny.
Astros. I called the cheater
Yeah.
team.
Okay, George. Calm and say.
You
Calm
know,
and say.
No,
Josh Reddick
I
was
was
playing for the
upset, bro.
Bregman.
Diamondbacks.
What was it? Say it
Reddick,
again. Josh who? Reddick?
Reddick,
Yeah, Josh
yeah,
Reddick.
he was playing for the Diamondbacks for a little bit, and it was
Hmm.
so crazy to see the home crowd boo.
Yeah.
Someone. And
Hmm.
I was like, damn. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
George Springer is finally not getting booed. It only took about what 10 years or something. Altuve's gonna get booed till he retires. Bregman kinda, he's slowly, they're not booing him as much when he went to Boston and now he's with the Cubs and killing it with Team USA right now. But yeah,
what's up with your
Altuve,
guy Kershaw, man?
he retired. Well, he retired, but he wanted to play with USA.
Yeah, he should have stayed
So
retired, man.
yeah, I know. I saw that exhibition game. I saw that exhibition game. It's all right.
Uh,
It's all right. He's just there for the experience. But you know what? We hate on Kershaw, but that dude does so much for community and country that is ridiculous. Every year he goes to
come
Africa
on,
to help.
man.
Yeah, he goes to Africa. He goes
Kershaw's a
South
legend,
America.
y'all.
He's a legend down here. And he's from Texas. He's from Dallas.
I know.
Um,
We got beef with Dallas.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about that. We're so random today, Drew,
All right.
So Houston and Dallas, that what would you compare that to out here in LA? What would that be like? Los Angeles, Anaheim? What kind of rivalry would that be?
That'd be more
San Diego, LA, maybe? San Francisco,
like
LA?
maybe
Lakers, Celtics.
like not Lakers Celtics. It's not like
Because it's an
it's like
in-city,
okay,
in-state
so
rivalry.
so yeah, so when something happens or whatever, like all of Texas come together. But but on a regular basis, it's just like, oh, you from DFW.
Hmm.
Like I'm like, dude, I'm cool off you. See, the culture is different. They're
Hmm.
more cowboyish, like
Oh
they're
yeah.
big honky tonk folks. But us, we like on the city, it's just like we got our own sound, we got our own culture. Our
Yeah.
cars are different. It's just like it's everything like that. It's just like we like cowboys with a little more swag to it.
Hmm.
It's just like oh, but they're more traditional kind of folk over there. It's cool. It's just like ill. Like you from Dallas, like it makes me like
Sounds like LA and Fresno.
probably that
Clovis.
probably yeah. It's just
Clovis
like
is the cowboy town. What's the other one out here? Not Corona. Corona, right? They have a lot of, I can't remember. Gosh dang it. I want to say it's Corona. They have a lot of like ranches out there and cowboys and stuff out there too. So I totally get what you're saying. So all right. So now that we've ragged on the
Or
Astros,
Corona or Ontario.
no, not Ontario. That's city. Corona,
Oh,
Colton, maybe.
wait. What do you,
There's a lot of cows and stuff out there.
It'd be
So
like if we're gonna say something, it'd be probably like Phoenix and Tucson.
well,
I'm upset.
yeah, he's in Tucson. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay, cool. Now that we've gone 20 minutes just bashing on the Astros, MLB, please don't, if you want to hire me someday, please don't ever watch this. Um, I'm in sports media, so I
and
need to,
watch it.
yeah, don't, yeah, Altuve's watching. What the hell? You work for the Angels? I'm gonna look you up, fool. And I walk around everywhere, so I'm easy to find. Anyway, I'll just kick him in the
He's
shins.
about to Google you right now,
Anyway,
bro.
yeah, right. Anyway, all right. So let's
Ricky
we've
Rodriguez.
talked about the Texas connection. We've talked about the Astros connection. What about the Rockets? You said you're a Rockets fan.
Big
In
Rockets fan.
2002, George, this is more your area. 2002, the Rockets were kind of iffy, weren't they? in 2002.
2002.
Lakers won that year, you know?
Did they still have like
Yeah,
Steve
Lakers won that
Francis?
year against
Yeah,
the
they had
Nets.
Francis and McGrady and stuff that year, didn't they? Or no?
Yeah, Yao Ming,
Oh,
Coutinho
Yao Ming.
Mobley.
Okay. Our
What is
historian.
it?
That's our historian right there, George. Yeah.
Yeah, Taylor.
Right,
Oh, Mo Taylor.
Louis Scola's on one of them teams,
Oh,
wasn't he?
Scola. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scolo, he didn't join the Houston team until what 2009,
Well, because him and Kyle Lowry
if I
played
remember.
together, right?
Lowry,
Yeah.
that's another one.
Yeah, him and
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry played in 2009. I remember y'all you guys played against my team Lakers, and yeah, we beat you in 7 games. But it was a hard series
He
though.
just wanted to
It
throw
was a
that in
hard
there, by the
series.
way. Yeah.
That's all
No,
right.
because that's when like they had Ron Artest that year. They had Ron Artest that year. McGrady got hurt.
Yep.
Yeah, like I remember that series. That series was a really tough series. I was like kind of like on pins and needles because you guys were just that great.
We're all
Yeah. My mom is a big Lakers fan.
Okay. Shout out to mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, she was like, Shaq was her favorite player. Kobe, she, tried to steal that mentality in us while we were younger. So, stuff like that. I was like,
I love the Shaq and Yao Ming matchups though.
Those were vicious.
Those were that was a vicious matchup that everybody wanted to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the 03-04 season, if I remember.
So
yes.
What drove you to be a Rockets fan? Is it just living in Texas? Because I like a lot of California teams out here for all the core four sports, except for football because we didn't have a team when I was younger. Where the Rams were back and forth all the time. Drew's a big Rams fan.
the El Segundo Rams.
Titan fans, the El Segundo, pretty much. Hey, that stadium's awesome, bro. If you've ever get a chance to go to SoFi, go. Because it's a pain in the ass.
I still haven't been there, so I've yet to go there.
Take the MetroLink. It drops you off right by the stadium, or have somebody drop you off. That stadium's awesome.
Don't drive there because parking is really, really expensive.
It sucks. Go ahead, Drew.
Ricky, 1 yard. That's all I gotta say.
Fuck you. Get off my show. You're out of here. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck Dyson.
Know what's so funny about it too?
Nothing.
Because it's like
nothing's funny about it. I have nightmares about it.
Come on, tell Drew.
Okay, relinquish the mic for a second. You know what's real funny about it? The thing that's funny about it is every Super Bowl anniversary year comes up.
They show that damn clip.
I always send that clip to Ricky.
He's an asshole.
And then not only that, but it's actually concreted on film. Do you know that? Other than it's in the movie Castaway.
Yes.
He comes back after being lost for 4 years, and then his wife or his former wife / now she's remarried, and she invites him in the house, and he's all like, "So let me get this straight. We have a football team here in Tennessee now," and she's all, "Yep." And she's all, "Last year we were in the Super Bowl and we lost by 1 yard." So I'm like, Rams baby all day, all day, bro. It's even on film. That movie made over $300 million, and I'm sorry, Ricky.
It's hard to be a Titans fan. Like we have our years. We had our years with Air McNair, our RIP. Briones, one of the best kickers, RIP. But we had years where we were 16-2 or whatever it was, or 15-2, whatever it was. And then we were number 1 seed. We win the first round, but then we lose in the semifinals. We had the years with Vince Young. Vince Young was killing it, and then he had his whole mental lapse and all that stuff. So.
That's crazy.
But anyway, I don't know how we got onto this, which really sucks. But yeah. So being a Rockets fan, you had the same thing, right? You had years where you guys just absolutely were ass.
Oh, for sure.
Years where you guys were killing it, So what makes you keep coming back?
Hometown love. That's all. It's just like,
that's what I want to hear. Okay.
Just as simple as that. Especially when James Harden was there.
Oh,
Houston was electrified during that time. Yeah. I'm a big James Harden guy.
Okay,
very nice guy.
Appreciate the loyalty, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate the loyalty.
He's from out here. Yep.
So it's just like, I very, very much, I'm like, that's my.
Okay. No,
that's my.
It's hard to be loyal when your teams are struggling. I'm an Angels fan. I get it. Yeah. And the same thing with the Ducks. Like the Ducks were crap a couple of years ago, and they're killing it this year. So actually, they're.
I know, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm actually. And I hear about it all the time because I'm buddies with. I used to be on the podcast with Phil Hewlett, the voice of the Ducks, where he's actually going to be on our show in a month, I believe. So that'd be cool.
Oh, nice.
I'm a St. Louis Blues fan.
Blues, okay. That's it. See, there's your interesting one. My interesting one is Titans. Yours is the Blues.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean,
Detroit Red
no
Wings,
offense.
bro.
I understand why you weren't a Coyotes fan. I get it. I get it.
Oh no, they're horrible.
They were horrible. They're the mammoth for a reason now.
Yeah.
They were ass. So, but except for Roenick, I loved Jeremy Roenick. He was an amazing player. But other than that, the Coyotes had nobody. And they always made the playoffs somehow. I don't know how. And they had one of the coolest logos, and then y'all got rid of it because I don't know. Someone complained about the actual logo itself, I guess. The one with the goalie coyote.
Yeah.
That one was dope. I liked that one. So, anyway, you guys, I shit you not, we just vented about the most random crap for the last 25 minutes. So why don't we get back to the show? We're off the rails, bro. Again, with this Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble episode 81, the Silver Slam Dunker with Devan Smith. He's out in Tucson, Arizona right now. We got Agent Drew out in San Diego, Georgia Chola out in San Fernando Valley. I'm in Norwalk, California. Again, just a quick recap. You're from Houston, Texas, born in 2002. I'm trying to make you born in 2022. It's weird. Grew up on a ranch. Mom played for FSU, tried out for the Houston Comets, one of the best teams in ever, all of a WNBA. Dad ran track at LSU, played football, baseball, homeschooled till sixth grade. Let's get there where we are. Other things people wouldn't know about you. You played in the Mecca. Most of our players have played in the Mecca. Is that the Mecca down here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you played down here. Did you meet any of your ABA brothers down this way? Like you said, you met
no,
the
like well, yeah, I've been on the O'Bannons because they're from Phoenix
here
and
with you. Yeah,
they live in Tucson. So like
okay.
it's funny because me and Cam and Khalil, we see each other at local gyms. We wouldn't say a word to each other. We were just competitors, like we just going at it or whatever. And my mindset is okay, I don't want to talk to you, whatever it may be, yada yada. I was like, but I get a text one day on Instagram from Cam. And he's like, "Hey, my mom wants you to play with our team in this pro-am."
Mama O'Bannon's calls, you go.
Yeah. And I was like, because we played against him. I was playing with the Tucson Buckets and he was on the Nova Stars.
Yeah.
And
That's what he talked about.
yeah. So we did that. Compete. He says he had 47, but stat book said 34.
Oh, damn. Shots fired.
Yeah.
Shots fired, Cam.
But
they're going to watch this.
But I did have a 25-point triple-double that game, and we got the dub. We beat the Nova Stars by like 30.
Shots fired twice.
But Cam was doing his thing. Cam was doing his thing that game. I give him credit to that. But we ended up but yeah, I got a text message and I was like, you know what? I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, I'll come play out in the Mecca. I was a little rocky my first 3 games because it's getting adjusted to everything. It was just it was weird. It was like, I don't know. It was just like, I was like, damn. I was like,
so it was like a different vibe,
Yeah. And finally, the first game where I broke out, I had like 34. I was like, I was hooping and everything like that. So I was like, okay, I'm like, I feel comfortable. Like, I'm established now. I'm like, let's hoop.
Yeah.
So I was like, all the guys I see on the Hounds now, I was talking a lot of shit too during the
That's the one thing about sports. You never know when you're gonna be on the same team as a person you've been trash talking for years. And that's happened even the Yankees back in the day. A-Rod and Jeter were never buddy until they became Yankees together. Like they would always chirp at each other for years. And then the whole A-Rod deal when he went to the Yankees, they moved A-Rod to third. It was a big deal when that happened, and then they had to become friends. Jeff Kent and Barry Bonds on the Giants, like they
Big
fought,
Barry
they threw fists, bro. And of course there's lots of basketball players that were like that. I mean, Jordan was like the king, So okay, good stuff. So the Mecca, what kind of vibe did you get personally going into the Mecca?
I don't know. It was just like it was cool. Like, I don't know. It's basketball, so I'm just happy to compete and just like I try to find a way to impact the game no matter what. So whether it's just like, damn, my shot's not falling, like I gotta play some defense, or like, and like they need someone who's going to be, an enforcer or something like that. Just like I got to figure out a way to impact the game at like, whether it's rebounding or whatever it may be. Like, I'm like, damn, like, I'm like, I can't find my touch around the rim. So like, let's try to get to the line a couple times or stuff like that. It's just like, just try to find a way to make an impact. I was like, we had a very young team, like,
Okay.
and we went pretty far, and then we ran into a team with a bunch of vets and stuff, and it was a close game at first, and then they ran away with it. But I was like, it was a team who ended up winning the whole thing last year. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so there was that. But
Crazy.
it was damn.
I know you sound like me. I announced 2 games yesterday. So okay. That's crazy, dude. Did you ever play in the Drew? I didn't see nothing in there on your
I
Instagram about
have
the Drew.
not.
Never played in the
No,
Drew.
I
Do
did
you
not play.
want to? Do you want to?
I would love to play in the
You got
Drew.
connections with LG, bro.
Yeah, I would love to
Go
play in
for
the
it.
Drew.
LG, make it happen.
I
There you
know,
go.
right? Come on,
And
man.
put him on your BPE team,
BPE, that
LG.
team is dominant, bro.
Very
Always,
dominant.
every year. He's a 2-time coach of the year with the Drew. So I know you saw his show. 2-time coach of the year at the Drew League. So runner up a couple years, and I think he's been a champion once as well.
Oh, nice.
LG, if you're watching.
Yeah. So go back and watch his show. Don't want to do Saturday. He's at work.
Okay.
He's at work. Drew, he's at work right now, if you haven't noticed. Okay. So you also played for a team called the Arizona Heat, spelled Heet. 2 things. Number 1, what league was that? And what's up with the double E? Is it so y'all didn't get sued?
I don't know what that is. So I didn't play for them. It was a TBL like
Oh, TBL. Okay.
showcase or whatever. And then the guy backed out of the league
Nice.
and stuff like that. So he just like that didn't happen. I was like, okay. So, I took a break from the TBL because the TBL was very like, especially in like Arizona,
Drew.
it was very like, I was like, man, I was like, we get a team and then they leave. Now they have a team now.
Yeah. Okay.
The Monsoons or what
Oh,
is it?
I think that's what it
Yeah,
was.
the Mesa Monsoons.
Mesa
So
Monsoons.
they got a team now and they're very well established. And
Okay.
I'm just like, I was a little finicky if I wanted to go like try out or work out for them because I'm just like the last couple times I went to try to work out, I'm like, the dude ended up backing out the league and I was out
God.
$350. So I was
Oh
like, dang.
shit, yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I know the inside scoop about that league.
Oh,
Yeah, we do. We both try
Oh,
to behave.
Drew's
Drew's
views.
views. We try to behave on this show. We try to be respectful, but we both know things. That's all we're gonna say. And we
Mhm.
actually, I don't know about in Arizona, but out here they split the TBL and the USBL. They have a new league
oh,
out here, USBL, and it has a lot of the former TBL teams in it. The Seattle Superhawks are in it.
okay.
The Long Beach Blue Waves are now the LA Blue Waves, even though they're nowhere near LA.
The Flying Cows are in it or
Something
something.
like that. Yeah, there's some teams that were in the TBL that are now in the USBL, and that starts next week, actually, or it's been going actually. It started last week, I believe.
Yeah.
The first home game for the San Diego team is this weekend. So, but yeah, so yeah, okay. So no Drew. I could definitely see you. You got the vibe for the Drew, bro. You'd be totally fine.
Oh yeah, Big Texas in the Drew.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always. Okay, so we're gonna save ABA for last. You've also played overseas. The only place that
Yes.
I saw was Morocco. Was there anywhere else
Yes.
besides Morocco?
Uh, a little stint in Canada, but it wasn't
Oh, that's
nothing like,
different.
yeah.
Okay.
But Morocco. So I was fresh out of high school, not fresh out of high school. Waiting for the borders to open back up, because of
Yeah,
COVID
because
and
COVID
everything.
that time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then my coach had a pro day for us because again, I went to a prep school.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I was new to prep and I was so confused on why there was 21-year-olds, like, 22-year-olds on our team. I'm just like, why is these grown men, playing basketball with us? And they're like, oh, like we play in the open division, we play against JUCOs and other schools like that, and yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I was like, cool. But coach had a pro day for us. And, I was like, I guess I stood out to, a team and they got in contact with me. It was Asali, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, in Morocco. And so
Okay.
that was, that was cool. It was a little experience I had.
And how long were you out there?
Like 5 months.
Okay, so that's a good
Yeah.
amount of time to get
Yeah.
adapted, get the culture. Well, what was the
Yeah.
culture shock like?
I thought it was beautiful. Like later, guys. I thought it was very beautiful. I thought it was very beautiful. Like I'm very much like I enjoy learning about other people's cultures and like learning new
Yeah,
things.
we're gonna get into that
Yeah.
next.
So
Yeah.
just like going there, and I was there during Ramadan.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Good timing.
So the city was like, dead during the day, cool. But at
Hmm.
night came alive. And I was like, this is
Wow.
cool. I was like, this is a really cool place to be. I was like, this is a
Hmm.
beautiful country and all this other stuff. It was just like, there's a mosque on the beach,
That's
beautiful mosque. I
wild.
was like, but you know, I went there and like I had a job to do, went do my job, and
Hmm.
I felt like I did a great job while I was there. We won a championship my first year there. So I was like, I was like a little upset coming off the bench, but I'm like, I'm young, and the guy I'm backing up played at Marquette in Florida Gulf Coast. So
Okay.
I was like, okay. And it was like, especially at my position, like I'm like 6'2", and like he's 6'6". So I'm just like, okay. I'm like, I was like, I play the two guards. So I'm just like, all right. I'm
Hmm.
like, I was like, I don't mind backing up this guy here. So it was cool. It was like I was messing with it. Um, I wanted when I returned or when I was going to return, I wanted more money because I was on a 1 year deal, and
Uh-huh.
we didn't see eye to eye on that. So I was just like, okay. I was like, well, I was like, not gonna bring me back. Then I'm like, you know, part our separate ways. Then decided to go to school, and then I've just been training, lifting, and just hooping and stuff. So I was just like,
Okay.
I was like, it was cool. It was cool.
All
It was
right.
nothing crazy. I don't want to say anything, you
Yeah.
know,
That's
but.
different. That's different. I like that. I mean, we've talked to people who've played literally everywhere, from Egypt to Canada to Africa to Japan to China. We got a bunch of guys over at China right now. Marcus Bell and his group are over there for a year.
Oh,
So
nice.
we got those crowds turn out, bro. What's the crowds like at those games?
It was iffy, so
Okay.
depending on what teams are playing. But
Hmm.
during the playoffs, like it was so loud during the playoffs, like I couldn't hear who was next to me.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
nice. I
like
love that kind of vibe. I love
I
that
was
kind of
like,
vibe.
they was trying to call play, and I'm just like looking around, and I'm just like, and my French isn't the greatest. I was like,
Also, they speak French there.
they speak
Okay.
French, Arabic,
Oh,
and
wow.
I was very like appalled, when I got there because like, I'm sitting in the airport and there was a big bug by my foot. And
You're
this
from
lady,
Texas. You're used to that. No,
no, for
go
sure.
on.
But that's what I didn't pay no mind to it. But there was a lady next to me and she was like, she spoke to me in French. And I looked at her
Hmm.
like, what? And then she spoke Arabic.
Oh no.
I was looking, I was like, what? And oh, you're American. I was like,
Try not
oh,
to be rude. Yeah.
I was like, that's the one. I was like, yeah. So yeah, there's a bug by your foot. I was like, oh, I was like, I know. But I was very shocked because I'm like, man, I was like, I'm in a country where the minimum is knowing, two or
Hmm.
three languages. So I was like, man,
Yeah, that's hard.
man, that's crazy. I was like,
Yeah.
I thought it was, it was cool. It was like a cool little place to be. I was like, I was like,
Yeah.
not that far from, Egypt or whatever.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
had a Egyptian teammate. His wife brought koftas. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like meat on a stick. Best thing
Okay.
ever.
Nice.
Delicious.
Nice. Did you ever take any trips out to Egypt since you were so close?
No, I was very like, I was young and I was just very like,
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't want, yeah,
Focus. Yeah.
that.
Okay.
And then my grandma was very like, she's like, I don't want anything to happen to you. Just make sure you stay where you're supposed to be. And I was like,
Wallet in your front pocket, eyes
yeah.
forward, heads up. That's my
Oh,
dad right there.
right. No, first day was there. One of my teammates got his phone stolen.
Oh my God.
I was like,
Okay.
he was on the bus and he was on it, and the windows on the bus are down.
Okay.
So someone took his phone and just ran the opposite direction.
Oh wow.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, he was out of a phone for like a week or two.
That's
And
crazy.
he had to buy one from another American player who came there with like two phones. So I was just like,
Oh man. That's wild. So, okay, good times. I'm gonna go over my panel really quick before we go to ABA. I'm gonna open it up to Drew. Drew, do you have anything basketball related or anything else we talked about previously to ask Devin before we jump into ABA?
Well, like so the handle doesn't just say Agent Drew for no reason. I'm actually certified through FIBA to send guys to international play for basketball, and
right.
I'm also PGA certified. So if golfers out there, get your swing on. But I get the thing. Most of the contracts typically with the teams are usually about a year, maybe a season, and then of course you renegotiate. And I'm gonna put this out there to anyone who's watching it, who's thinking of turning pro. So this is more of a comment, more of instead of like a question that most of my stuff um, is don't expect high money because when you come into those international leagues your entry level. And, they vary basing off the conference you played in. Like, obviously, someone who probably played at like a Duke or a Kansas or, a big powerhouse of the Power Five
or North
conferences
Carolina.
is going to get more money than somebody who, let's say, played at Alabama State. Even though it's D1 or whatever, they still, some of these teams, especially GMs, because I talk to a lot of them, I talk to a lot of owners on the international market. They want that high level, and that's all they watch out there. They see the high level of those conferences, and the other ones are like, yeah. So they're gonna offer you like $500 a month kind of contracts, and some people think, oh, because now the whole landscape is different. Like when you graduated in high school or something, NIL was barely starting up, and now NIL is completely taken over, and it's kind of turned everything into, let's just say, a shitstorm right now.
Oh yeah,
So
everything's a business transaction right now. So
it's really bad right now to the fact that literally there's no loyalty. It's just, it's terrible. I think something needs to be redone about it. Like literally, if you're going to transfer, because the transfer portal is ridiculous, I'm like, bro, you need to sit out. We need to go back to, hey, you're sitting out, you're not playing right away, and all this crap because that's the only thing. I hate it. I mean, if I was a coach or someone and I invested time following you during your high school career, and I go out and scout and recruit you, and all of a sudden you're there for a season, and all of a sudden, nope, I'm gonna go play there for six more figures at somewhere else. It's like, bro, get out of here. You're sitting on the bench. I don't care, because that's what it is. It's heartbreaking. I get it, trying to make money, but really, does an 18 or 19-year-old know how to do? I mean, sometimes they can't even handle a grand in their bank account. You're gonna give them like 100 grand? Give me a break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Be
my my
educated
my comment
financially.
slash question to you is, um, I could understand, not being brought back because you were young and stuff like that. So it's just I wanted to throw it out there that, I deal with that constantly when I talk to players, when I talk to GMs, is, we try our best as agents to try to get you there to stay locked in, but sometimes it's just like you can't I can't talk to a brick wall when they're like literally saying, "Oh, I want a Michael Jordan caliber player, but I want him at a Dollar Tree budget."
right.
It's kind of it's sad. It's very sad because there's a lot of high talented, high caliber players out there that maybe money wise in their eyes they don't think it worth it, but they are value wise.
Hmm. How do you feel about that, Dev?
I feel like that is true. I was told that, I was like, there's a couple times where I was like, hey, I'm not starting. I'm outperforming the guy in front of me. And the coach was rocking with me. The coach was like, yeah, he's like, I'll go talk to the owner or whatever. And the owner flat out came to practice, pulled me aside. He's like, look, you're nobody. He's like,
Damn.
he's like,
Wow.
you're right out of high school. He's like, you know, like your time will come, but it's not now. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Love
I
those.
hear that all the time from
yeah,
players. It's like literally, or I'll talk to their parents and they'll be like, my son didn't get too much playing time, or my grandson didn't. And it's because it comes to politics, it comes to favoritism. It's just like anything you know what? It's like every workplace.
yeah,
If you ever get a job, there's always going to be politics. There's always going to
Yep.
be that you're not worth, come on. I worked for the Padres for 10 years. It was great there. I was employee of the month. I was employee of the year for the entire season. But every time there came an opportunity to get a supervisor position, I always got frowned upon. I would get out. It was five deciding votes to get that and I would always get four, but it wasn't a majority. That fifth one was the seniority person, and I would never get that upper. So it was like I could understand the politics, and that's exactly what it is at any position,
yeah.
any
That's
job.
what that's what my mom was telling me. Like before I even, she like, before you do this, just realize someone's investing in you and there's money involved. So there's going to be, little things like it's like sadly, like it's going to come down to who you know and where you're from. And I'm just
Exactly.
like, I'm just like,
Yep. It's
damn.
not even about being skilled at basketball. It's like who knows who's gonna pat you on the back because we just had this last weekend. I think that we had the Mexican national team was playing down here in Oceanside. They were playing against the US in basketball for like international, kind of like a showcase. And Mexico, I know a lot of those players because I've dealt and I was under another agent before I decided to branch off and go independent and start my own agency. And so anyway, we know a lot of those players are on national team, but unfortunately, a lot of them are with a certain particular agent, and it's always like, bro, the reason why the Mexican national basketball team isn't is ass is because you literally keep freaking putting these guys in when we have guys that are more talented and we could stack that team. But unfortunately, you keep siding with this particular agent and particular agency that team performs. And I think they got smashed by the US by like 50. It was not even funny. It was
That's
bad.
wild. That's
And I'm
wild.
like, bro, come on. Terrible.
That's wild.
A couple of their players come and work out at this gym here sometimes.
How funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
There you go.
Basketball is not a sport. It's a livelihood.
Yeah.
It's a culture. I mean, we're all hoop heads here. It's like I go into high school gyms and anything for a basketball game or something, and I don't even know these people from dog shit. And literally they're like,
I hope
there's
not.
Agent Drew. Agent Drew's here. Oh my God. It's
Yeah.
like, what? You've heard of me? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, me and George are starting to get that too. It took 6 freaking years, but that's beside the point. People finally know who
That's
we
because
are.
they found out you were a Titan fan, bro.
I know 1 yard, it ruins your life. I know. Anyway, speaking of working out, you segued right into the next thing. I found out you did a regiment. Wow, big word, too early. Ow. Regiment called Day of 56. What
Oh,
was that?
56
It was
nights.
cool.
Yeah.
So what is it?
So it's 56 nights. So
Okay.
so my favorite rapper is Future.
Okay.
So he has an album called 56 Nights.
Okay.
And so for 56 nights, I decided, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be locked in. I was like, I'm going to eat right. I'm gonna do 4 days. I'm gonna take care of my body, ice my body. And the way I did those workouts was like Sunday, basically on a like a plateau or no, what is it called? Just,
Like a
you know,
pyramid. Yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
it's like something
Yeah.
like that. So like Sunday, I'm easing into it.
Okay.
And then Monday, we ramp it up. Tuesday, it's getting a little crazy. And then
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday is going to be like my hardest workout. And then we're going to decline back down.
Okay.
And then so Thursday, I'm like, okay, coming down. Friday, cool. Saturday, I'm like, okay, it's not a complete rest day, but
Mhm.
it's a rest day.
Okay.
So it was just like, just get into it. I had a couple of, my some guys I know from Texas, they would come, fly in, we work out here, just get some work in, stuff like that. It's just like it was very I do it around this time of year because like I need a reset and I just need to
Yeah, of
just lock
course.
in and I'm just like, ground myself and stuff like that. Like I'll limit my screen time or like instead of watching NBA basketball, I'll probably watch like, like FIBA Cup or like something like that.
Get some culture. Okay, so
Yeah,
you're working on your mental and physical game. I like that.
yeah,
I respect that.
take some time, journal or whatever. I'm like, go out. Like Tucson, a lot of people don't know this. Tucson is a very dark city because, they use Tucson to observe stars or something like that.
It's very
But
it's open. It's very, very
yeah.
open.
So, I can just drive out to the middle of nowhere and I'll just, sit under the starlights and just,
Okay.
decompress and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And just like, 'cause I take mental health very seriously. So it's just
Okay.
like, I'm like,
I could see that with the other stuff we're gonna talk about in a little
yeah.
bit for sure.
So
In a good
very
way.
big, yeah, very, very big advocate for mental health.
That's cool. I like that. That's something you guys younger hoopers, y'all just heard it from a professional hooper here. You can maintain the way mentally and physically that you treat yourself in a season, in the off season. So make sure you guys check into that the day of 56. I think that's really, really cool. I was just following it. I'm like, oh my God, this is dope. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? It was super cool to me. So much respect for the day of 56, bro. That was awesome. Okay, so we'll talk ABA real quick and then we'll get into the other stuff. Real quick though, we're at our hour mark right now. We started early because Devin's an efficient dude and we appreciate that. This is Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble episode number 81, the Silver Slam Dunker with Devin Smith. We're sponsored by I'm so tired, I'm sorry. We're sponsored by E1 Connect Marketing. Donovan Hilton is our partner and he's been backing us since day one. And we appreciate that. All right, so a little more basketball, and then we're gonna jump into the life stuff. ABA, obviously we left that for last because you were on the Tucson Buckets. You did smoke the Nova Stars. The Hounds just beat the Nova Stars last night in a great game, with questionable officiating. We'll just leave it at that. But it was a good game. So the Hounds move on. They'll be facing the Guy Levy Legends sometime this week. We don't know
God,
exactly
don't
what
even
day.
start about that.
We're not gonna get into that. We're not getting into that, but it's gonna be sometime this week. You don't know the story, Dev. I'll tell you later. We're gonna get into that, but they will be facing in the semifinals, and then the winner of that will face the winner of the Mob Suns game today for the Black Division Championship. So yeah, it's just absolute wildness down here in California. I'll tell you later. But anyway, ABA. So I met you when you were on the Hounds. Then I come to find out you played for Tucson. Were you on any other team besides Tucson and the Hounds?
No, I didn't know that ABA existed until I was at a gym, dumped on a couple folks, hit a couple
Mm-hmm.
shots, whatever, and then the owner for the Buckets came up to me.
Jate. Okay.
Yeah, he was talking to me and was just like, "Hey, like I got a team. Like, have you ever heard of this?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "I ain't never heard anything like that." So, that was my first introduction to it, like
Okay.
2 years ago. So I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was like, this is
Yeah.
cool. I was like, I'm like, it keeps me like it scratches my competitive itch.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, I'm like men's leagues don't really do it for me. And it's just like,
Well, this is a very aggressive one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like I'm very much like, okay, I'm like cool. I'm like, and like I have I don't want to say like a hit list or anything like that, but it's just like when like, I get told like, oh, like this is their best player, or this is who. Like when I get time to prepare. I was like,
Okay.
if I like, like how Batman has his little contingency plans and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, I am very like,
That's a comic book reference, just
yeah,
saying.
I'm
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
very particular and I like to study the game. I like, stuff like that. It's just like I wish that like some like like my time with the Buckets. I wish like a lot of my teammates took it a little more seriously because
Mm-hmm.
my like second year with the Buckets, we were fantastic. We won our regional championship, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
was, and it was like, we was a good team. We was young. I was
And you
like,
ran into the Hounds, just saying. I remember. I
I
probably called your game and I didn't even know it because I was with the Hounds 2 years ago.
well, no,
Officially.
no, no. I mean like last season. Last
Last
season we was
season.
yeah. Last season we was
I
hot.
didn't call the game against Tucson.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Two years ago, we was like iffy, we was whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
my second year for the Buckets, we was like we really gelled together and we was
Mm-hmm.
really like locked in. And I was like we was whooping everybody. I was like,
Uh-huh.
one of my best playing seasons. I felt like, and I didn't play the whole season. Like I took a little hiatus like midway through it, but
Mm-hmm.
came back for the playoffs and everything. But done dunked on a lot of people that season, like a lot. It was
Very nice.
very, yeah.
Okay. That's the one game I didn't get to do. I have because I have my Angel job and I had a couple other things. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do that game. I think Dave Rice covered that game for me, but I really wanted to do that one. I always like playing against Jate. I love the way he approaches the game. He's like the Al Smith of Arizona to me. He's been around a long time. He's very knowledgeable. He likes certain type of players and he builds players who end up going to other teams. I'm sorry, that's just what it is, you know? Okay, so you go from the buckets, and then you go to one of the goats of the ABA, a former ABA player, a former two-time Drew League champion, or coach of the year, Lamar Gale. What was it like? What is it like playing for LG?
So my first game, I love his energy. I love his energy. I love coaches that are passionate. They're like, they're
That's
not,
putting it mildly.
but they're not afraid to show that they're that they're going to fight for their guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because some coaches, they sit there in silence and they're just like, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm like, I don't really like that. I'm like, because I'm gonna run through a brick wall for you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to know you're gonna do the same for me.
Yeah.
And and it's very cool and very reassuring, and it makes me play harder. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, first game I played with the Hounds, played horribly. Like
I
I'm
didn't
like
see
I
that
got
game. That's in,
uh,
in Arizona, right?
no. It was in
Or was it the jump off?
the MLK, was it the
The jump off
MLK?
where you
Yeah.
got the MVP. Yeah, I remember
Uh
that.
I what's it called? First first game I played, I'm like, it was just I'm like, I couldn't get anything to go. Like, I couldn't score. I couldn't do anything. All right. I was like, I guess I got a rebound or something. I was like, so
Yeah.
like, that's what I did. I was
Well,
like,
you got the ultimate rebound that game against
yeah.
the Mob. I'm just saying,
Oh, well,
beat the
versus the
Mob
Nova
by one.
Stars, I
Well,
wasn't so
first you played
hot.
the Nova Stars, and then they played the
Yeah.
Mob on the main event of the second day, and that's when you got the
Oh,
MVP.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that was nuts.
we drove out there. So, first game, I was a little like,
Yeah,
I
I
was a little
bet.
groggy.
Tucson, you guys, that's like for people who don't know, that's a good 7 hour drive down here to
Yeah.
Linwood. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So,
crazy.
first game was a little groggy, whatever it may be. Second game, Lamar told me, he's like, hey, like, second game, like, I need you to, like, be here and be ready. And so I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it's like, all right, went to bed early that night, got some sleep. I was ready to go. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I, I wouldn't say it was one of my best games, but I'm like, I feel like I made a big impact that game.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah. You got the
I,
game-winning steal and the game-winning shot. So I'd say,
yeah,
yeah.
and
That game was nuts, though. Overall,
box.
box. Yeah. Check.
Yeah. No, no,
That
no. I mean,
that
like
was.
whoever the dude I was guarding was in a box.
Oh, okay. God, I don't
Yeah.
even remember who you guarded. They had to. I can't remember. They had a couple guards in that game. So, but that game was wild. You guys go back watch that one from the MLK weekend. Mob versus the Hounds. That game was
Oh, it
insane.
was a good game.
Yeah, that game was nuts. Anybody got any other basketball related questions before I go into our side topics, which are going to be very fun, by the way?
Nah,
Drew, George?
I'm good.
No, I'm good.
All right, let's have some fun. All right. So first off, Devin, looking at you, I'm going to say this in the nicest way. People might not know that you have a soft side. Okay.
A little bit.
I'm in the same boat. I do poetry as well. I have over 81 original poems in a journal that I have. Just everything from anger to sadness to happiness to motivation to depression. Depression ones are always the best ones because they have the most emotion in them, you know? But over 81 original poems. People don't know it, but you're a poet too. So you're a
He was a
poet.
poet and they didn't even know it.
We said that. There it is. I say that all the time. I did see I love quotes. You have one on your page and it says, "In self-gaze, doubts, shadows fade, and give away confidence holds sway." What does that mean?
Oh,
And
you talking
what
about my
motivated?
haikus?
Yeah, I love haikus. I love
Oh
any
yeah.
kind of poetry, bro.
Yeah. This
So,
sometimes I'm like, I was going through a really tough time. I
okay.
was just like, I was like, man, I'm like, life is just life has its up and downs.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I'm bipolar. So
Okay,
I
diagnosed, if you don't
yeah,
mind me asking. Okay, okay.
diagnosed bipolar 2.
Okay.
But it's just like sometimes, go through little manic episodes or whatever. And
Uh-huh.
just like, I'm like,
Okay.
I need to chill out, need to find an outlet. So, sometimes basketball is not always the greatest outlet.
Right, you got that
So,
aggression out there.
right. And so I'm just like, okay, I'm like, I need to find something to do. And I've always
Uh-huh.
been into poetry, stuff like that. Poetry, music, and just like
Okay. And that's what
very
music is poetry.
right,
It's
right, right,
literally
right.
with music notes. That's
Right.
literally what it is.
I can't
Yeah.
rap now, just for the record. Like I enjoy the process of music being made and like samples and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. But it's just like other than that, just like sometimes I just need a different outlet, another
Mm-hmm.
creative outlet. So it's like some people is drawing,
Mm-hmm.
making music, poetry, a lot of
Everything.
people, yeah, literally everything. And
That's awesome.
I'm a creative guy. So it's just like, I'm like, hey, I'm like,
That's
like
awesome. That's awesome. I personally wouldn't say I have a favorite poet. I mean, sadly, the only one I really know by name is Edgar Allan Poe, and I love The Raven. But there's a lot of great poetry out there. Do you have a favorite poet, or are you just more of an
uh
original soul yourself?
Maya Angelou.
Okay,
Maya
Maya
Angelou.
Angelou. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
She's a good one.
Yeah.
But that's all that I have from the top of my head right now.
No, but you know what? I agree with you 100% because I always tell these guys they know because they know me for years. You always need an outlet of some sort. I've been in the radio industry since 2016. I was on the radio for 5 years for the KCAL Rocks out here in the Inland Empire. It's a rock station, so it's a good aggression, get a lot of aggression out. But music was a good escape. Poetry, like the thing about poetry, if you're not a poet and don't know it, um, is you can literally let anything out on paper. You could cuss out your best friend. You could cuss out your coach. You could cuss yourself out. You could put yourself down. You could say, I'm the best thing in the whole damn world. Nobody sees it, and you get that emotion out. I mean, obviously it's going to be seen one day. I know that. I know when people read my journal, they're going to be like, oh my God, what was wrong with this guy? Or, hey, that was amazing. I never knew that. But I don't want people to know certain things, unless
Right.
you're like my best friends. Like these guys know everything about me. Everything.
Sounds like you and Drew, Ricky.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Seriously. I love Drew. Drew's my brother. Drew's my brother. Stop it. Drew's my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ride or
Seriously.
die. Ride or die. But no, honestly, like you said, poetry, music, and most musicians started as poets. A lot of people don't know
Right.
that. And it's
Well,
Hmm.
literally a poem and you put music notes behind it and
you're
bam, there you
making
go.
rhyme. You're either making rhymes or you're making something, and that
Yeah.
basically is poetry. I mean, nowadays it's all commercial, and it literally is like they're saying they're going to get in Starbucks at their McDonald's in three. Real poets, like some people always tell me, you love. I'm like a bag of Skittles when it comes to music. Like
Oh, I
I
can
don't
never
stick to
eat
one.
Skittles the same old way again. Thanks, Steve.
I don't like label myself to only listening to one style of music.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen to
No.
I've listened to
Seriously.
country, I've listened
Oh,
to
me too.
rock, I've listened to hip hop, I listened to
Yep.
R&B. My
Hmm.
dad was soft rock and stuff like that and
Okay.
pop and everything. But
Yeah.
and what I was going at this point is like a lot of that stuff is poetry to, like you say, to words. And people always ask me, who's your favorite rapper? And I say, look, my favorite rapper is the one who's actually telling, they're storytellers
Mm-hmm.
because they tell you what's going on. And a lot of them, if you listen to Biggie, if you listen to
Pac,
Tupac, if you listen to
Nipsey, people
Big
like that.
Pun, they
Yeah.
actually were telling you stories of how it was.
Yeah.
Now, and so those are the real lyricists. Nas,
Mm-hmm.
I can listen to that stuff. Early Drake, early
Mm-hmm.
Kanye, they're actually telling you stories.
Mm-hmm.
So it's poetry in motion to music. Me, like Ricky says, everybody has to have kind of like I can't do sports all the time.
Yeah.
I'm constantly booked. I turned a 4 month gig now into a 12, 13 month gig where I'm literally doing sports every day, but I have to have an outlet. So what do? I go play golf by myself sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
or back when I was a teenager in high school and middle school or high school, I used to make rap beats. And people don't know that. I probably have about
Mixtapes, CD, mixed
Wow.
300
CDs, burnt
Oh,
CDs.
I didn't know that.
I have about 200 to 300 beats like on
Mm-hmm.
CDs, okay, and on my even hard drive of my old computer. And I was playing them one time, and then people get here to and said, "Bro, we can actually rap to that stuff." Because
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of sampling,
I was
and
just at a rap concert last night.
Yep.
there you go. So it's just was an outlet to me. It was my way of expressing myself through music. And a lot of it is instrumental. Like because I can't write rhymes for nothing. I mean, it was terrible. I was actually like biting off people's lyrics and kind of changing it to my vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But it was because you got to have that outlet. Like go run on top of a mountain and scream. You
Yeah.
have to let it out, your emotions. And yeah, like Ricky says, we all have a little bit of something in us that maybe we don't click. Like I have a lot of OCD. Sometimes I could be a little ADHD. I haven't been diagnosed, but we all have to have an outlet. And sometimes like playing a sport sometimes doesn't do it. So I can
Mm-hmm.
applaud you for, poetry it's a
And it's
craft.
hard.
It's
It's
hard.
not easy.
It's hard and it's a craft and it's a gift. Because like when one day someone's gonna just dig through our stuff. They're gonna go through your
Mm-hmm.
poet books, Ricky, or yours, and then or they're gonna find my rap beats somewhere. They're gonna find those CDs and be like, man, what the hell's on this? And like, oh
Yeah.
shit, this was some good shit to vibe with. Who was
Yeah.
this guy? So
Yeah.
it was pretty dope.
Yeah. So much love in that area for sure. Because Dev, we connect in that area. Trust me. I've been doing poetry since 2001. So I've been doing it off and on, just literally any topic you can think of. I wrote, this is funny. There's two poems that I have a funny story about. I wrote one on a napkin because my girlfriend's sister had pissed me off, her older sister. And I literally just real quick on a napkin wrote how much B-notch she was. And it was hilarious. That was one. And then when I was working at Disneyland, sorry, Autopia, it was a very slow day. It was like a Thursday. It was like a Thursday. I'm in the back part of Autopia where you're by yourself, and I'm like, dude, I'm so bored. Like it's taking forever. But my son was gonna be born in a couple months, and I wrote a poem to my son,
Oh
which I
wow.
still have. Um, I wrote that on a note card, like us poets, we do weird shit like that. That's just what we do, and it just comes out of nowhere.
I will
And
love to hear that poetry, Ricky.
dude, I posted some of my stuff, and I thought about posting some of it too, but some of it I can't post. That's all I gotta say. Um, but um, you never know, especially if you have bipolar, ADHD. Something's gonna hit you. I get depressive spells randomly, and that's when you write. And you go to your safe space, which is where we're gonna go next with Devin. My safe space is Wilderness Park. Now people know. Now I gotta get a new one. Out here in Downey, California, it's a duck park with like swans, ducks, geese. Geese are evil, by the way.
They are
But it's
very.
peaceful, especially in Fresno, California. Oh my God. That's like out of a horror movie. Like they would hiss and their tongues would like stick out like they're gonna come and eat you. Oh, they're evil. Anyway, but my safe space is that park. It's a little hidden park in Downey, and it's got a fountain, and it's usually pretty quiet during the day, during the week, and that's where I'll go write, and I'll just lay in the grass and just or enjoy the environment, which is what I want to get into next. You talked about living in Tucson. You talked about looking at the stars. You talked about loving nature. I've seen a lot of your things on Instagram where you're looking at nature and you're looking at art. You have a full section on your Instagram dedicated just to art. So I respect the hell out of you for that. What is your go-to when it comes to looking at art? Do you like more like Picasso style? Do you want like those fancy bit paintings of like
I'm
detailed stuff? Like what makes you enjoy art the most?
so I don't have like a real like it's just whatever I'm drawn to. As cliche
No
as
pun
it
intended,
sounds.
huh? Pun
Yeah.
intended. Pun intended.
But
Sorry. Go
it's
ahead.
just like sometimes like I'll see a piece and I'm just like, I'm like I'm really big on like Japanese culture. And
Cool. They
and
have a
it's
lot of
like
cool pictures. Yeah.
right. And it's just like, but one thing, like samurais like
Okay.
big work ethic or the
Hmm.
crazy work ethic and like attention to detail with everything and stuff like that. And they're very disciplined. And,
Yes.
yeah. And, that's how I try to live my life. Discipline, work ethic, all that other stuff. But it's like whatever piece of like, it's just like, I don't know, sometimes it just speak to me. I just be like, you know what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I like that. I'm like, I feel whatever the artist was putting out here, like, like I feel
Hmm.
it, which art could be interpreted however you want. It's in the
Hmm.
eye of the beholder.
Absolutely.
So it's just
Absolutely.
like if I felt like, this piece is like, maybe like very like gloomy, dark, some other person might think like, oh, like, this person's like probably pondering or like thinking about his next like aspect of life or something like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
And,
yeah.
and that's the thing about poets. Like, we might one day write, like we just said earlier, you might be writing something super dark about yourself and you're super mad at yourself or hurting or whatnot. And then the very next day, you got that job you were looking for. You're ecstatic. You're two totally different people. You get to be a character, pretty much when you jump into the world of poetry and the world of art and the world of writing, journal writing. I have over 50 journal entries. Also, again, just random stuff, yelling at myself, letters to family members, letters to deceased family members, letters to people I'll never see again that have moved away, stuff like that. And again, that's a really good outlet. So cool. I think that's amazing. I respect the hell out of you for that. And my main final question is going to be related to that, just so you know. All right. It's time. I gotta know. You're a poet. You're all around, dude. I love this. You got the bright smile. Everything's going. The pearly whites are showing. You love art. You love poetry. You kill it on the court. You love comics, bro. I've seen a
Love
lot of
them.
comics. Okay, and on top of that, Silver Surfer's your dude. I
Oh,
gotta
for
know why.
sure.
I gotta know why. It's everywhere on your page, dude.
He
So,
he's the loneliest man in the universe.
ooh, I like that.
See?
Okay.
And it's just like that's how I feel like. It's just like, like damn, like he's always, you always see him in a comic book,
Hmm.
surrounded by people, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, he's just like, you know, Like all the photos I choose them how I'm feeling in that particular moment.
Uh-huh.
Where he just staring off into the world and just like, just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite, he's like more of an anti-hero. So he's not on either side.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's like he goes to planets and marks planets for death. That's his job.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, eventually he has, a character arc where he's like, okay, like I don't really want to do this anymore. And then he ends up, fighting Galactus or whatever, which is
Okay.
the world eater.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's just like stuff
So
like that.
so I love that you just put an emotional connection to that.
But
You didn't just say, "Oh, comics are cool and I love the Silver Surfer because he's dope." You put a full on 4 minute emotional connection to that, and that's the poet in you. It just happens naturally.
yeah.
I thought that was really, really cool. So, all right. So it makes a lot of sense now. Literally, if you go on his page, y'all, it is literally like every other picture. There is Silver Surfer everywhere. So now you know the name Silver Slam Dunker. All right. So, okay. La, 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 yeah, yeah. Okay. So George is saying he's got to go soon. So George, before you go, do you have any questions relating to him liking nature, art, or comic books?
Um, yeah. Were you ever were you ever like a person that likes to draw or like a person let me see. How can I put this? Were you ever like the artistic one to the point where you like to like draw and paint and everything? Because that's something I like to do,
Did
like
you
when I'm not
physically
playing
do it?
basketball.
I mean, I can't draw for shit, but when I paint, when I paint, I call it abstract art because it's bad.
Art is art.
Yeah.
Art is
Or
art, though.
yeah,
No,
it's
I used
like
to. I took abstract classes. I took art classes, and one of the things that we did was abstract art. Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like abstract is like a little easier for me to like, I get a slide on whatever I'm drawing, like throw some shapes in there and some nice colors and stuff and just like, be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, like this is abstract, covering up the fact that I
Yeah.
can't draw for my life.
And people get millions of dollars for that kind of stuff.
Well,
Like
not
you never
really.
know. Well, in some of the worlds, it
Well,
depends on the picture.
after they pass, that's
Well,
the
yeah.
sad part. Like, sad part of an artist, like, the most artists never get to see like their
Hmm.
work flourish. It's always after they pass, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true though.
Yeah.
Sadly, that is true.
Yeah.
You're 100% right on that. All right, since George has to go, we're gonna actually jump into our closing segments. We each have our own little segment, and then we have our final thought, like Jerry Springer's final thought. I'm aging myself here. Sorry. But again, you're watching Take a Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble episode 81, the Silver Slam Dunker with Devan Smith. We're sponsored by E1 Connect Marketing. Donovan Hilton is our sponsor. Thank you so much. We're gonna jump into we'll let George go first. Usually I do off the hoof first, but we'll go to Fab Five. So this is a segment that George has made up in the last 6 years. Just brought it up one day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always top five, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna let George go ahead and do that because he has to get out of here. Go ahead, George. Where's your Fab Five?
All right. So, what's up, by the way? I hope you're enjoying our little conversations that we be having, by the way. So I wanted to throw that
Our
out there.
random madness.
I
Yeah, our
love it.
random madness. Yeah, that's who we really are.
We are in
But my
March.
Yeah.
March Madness.
Yeah, good job,
Yep.
Drew.
There you go. So my Fab Five question is, who would you put on your Fab Five Texas, my
Ooh.
bad. I said Texas athletes. It
Ooh,
could be
that is
from
a
any
good
That is a good
one.
one.
My
So
God, that's
yeah.
good.
we're going.
Football, basketball, tennis, or
That's got to be
soccer.
your best question this
Okay,
whole year.
so we're going Kay Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey,
Okay.
Tyrese Maxey.
Okay.
and then we're going my mom for sure.
Mama.
My mom and my dad.
Mama, shout out to moms.
Mama slash dad. We'll keep that as one. So
Josh
you
ain't
get
here.
yeah. Oh God, that's an inside joke. Okay, so you got
Okay,
one,
I was
two. That's
confused.
oh, we call him he's the mom, the one that likes all the moms. Call him the Rizzler.
Uh,
Okay, before the Rizzler came out. One, two, three. We're gonna count mom and dad as one. So you got two more.
okay, and then this is hard.
I
Uh
know.
You better say
okay.
Noah Ryan or Roger Clemens on one of those.
Oh no, not at all.
No, neither one. I could tell you. I could tell you're younger. I could tell you're younger.
Yeah.
Okay, carry
I bet
on.
Um.
she's gonna say
Carry
Altuve
on. What
next.
about someone from like the Rockets?
Okay. Oh, are we talking about Texas natives or just athletes who have played in Texas?
George, you didn't clear
Athletes
that
who
up.
have played in Texas.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes it a little
Cunningham,
easier then.
Maxey, mom and dad. Okay. I was on the other side. Okay.
And then yeah, I was thinking natives,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
okay. And then I'm gonna go James Harden for sure,
Okay.
and Jordan Alvarez.
Okay.
Jordan. I do like Jordan Alvarez.
Yeah.
He's the one that
So
got
Dang, I'm surprised you
mixed.
didn't put Akeem Olajuwon in there.
no,
He don't mess with the
I like
Olajuwon.
Akeem Olajuwon, but I'm just like it's cool.
I like Jordan Alvarez. I like his approach, and he
Okay.
came over from Cuba. So when it was still illegal to do so. So, but now they have an agreement where they can get over here and stuff. But Alvarez, big dude, outfielder, trying to play outfield. He's more of a DH,
Yeah.
but I think he came in right at the end of the the gate issue with the Astros trash gate. And I personally don't think he had anything to do with it. He was still really young then.
When we beat the
But
Yankees, he had some
when
very clutch
Altuve,
hits.
yeah, the same
Yeah.
year Altuve wouldn't rip his jersey, but that's beside the point. We'll get into that again later. Anyway, but no, that's a great lineup. I love that lineup. Again, Harden and LA boy,
Mm-hmm.
Maxey, Cunningham. That's a great lineup right there. George, do you have a final thought before we go to off the hoof? Because I know you got to go.
Um, yeah, just shout out to you coming to our show and keep doing good things and good luck with the Hounds playing against San Diego. I don't know what day they're playing, sometime next week. It could be next Saturday, next Friday, next Sunday, or
No, it better not
anytime
be.
during the week.
Yeah.
But anyways, keep doing your thing, bro, and you're gonna go places with that.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. So,
All
George,
right.
you are free to go, my friend. You will see you when
All
we
right,
see.
guys. You guys have a great Sunday.
All right,
Later,
take it
George.
easy,
Too.
George.
Later,
Today
George.
is Sunday.
Yeah, I know it's wild, right? Okay, so now we'll go
Yeah.
back to off the hoof. This is Drew's business segment. I never know what he's gonna say, so but you definitely do have a business mentality. So Drew, go ahead off the hoof today.
Yeah, so today is all about business. Real serious, Ron, it's been great listening to you this last like hour I've been on the show. Obviously you have a bright future, a bright mind. You definitely are literally like doing every aspect, not just basketball. That's why I say it's no one dimension. We found out
Yeah.
you're an artist, you're a poet, you love comics. There's so much wrapped up to you. You can't just label you on one thing. So with all those talents and all those avenues and those roads you can take, is there any one of those roads that you would like? If you had a business, if someone gave you like $100,000 loan,
That's
like a
cool.
company invested into you, or somebody, or a bank invested and said, "We're going to give you 100K to open a business," which road would you take,
Okay.
and
So
why?
so I am currently in school getting my degree in computer science.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
So my thing would be I would be investing in destroying AI.
there you go. Okay,
Nice.
100%. Just because it's taking a lot of jobs from people. It might make things, it does make things easier. But I feel like we can't get rid of the human component in workplaces.
Hmm.
And I feel like I was just talking to somebody and I forgot what he said, what company it was, but they just laid off literally all of their programmers and it's all just AI now. And
Mhm.
so like of course for the CEO of the company, like, oh, it's efficient, he gets the job done to two or three people or whatever, and he doesn't have to pay nobody.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
It's
to
true.
me, it's just like man, that really sucks because I'm like, a lot of these people, this is their craft and this is their passion.
Hmm.
And like a lot of them are like not just doing it for work, but doing it because they love it.
Hmm.
Yep.
So it's like once you take that away from somebody, they're just like, just like, damn, like,
Their self-worth isn't there anymore.
right, exactly.
True.
And so it's like, man, like, am I not better than, a robot or whatever it may be?
Hmm.
And that's just like, it's like, man, so I would completely fund into destroying AI. Like completely.
Sounds like you got the John Connor complex trying to get rid of Skynet. So definitely, I could see that going on. Like, oh man, we're gonna have to find him back in 4 and take him out before he takes out AI.
Right?
So seriously, it's no, I feel you on that because like yesterday I was doing I've been doing softball at University of San Diego. They've been having a showcase. So the last couple of days I've been doing stats and helping. I was actually on the mic the last couple of times, Ricky. They had me on doing PA. Now about it. So
Yeah.
anyway, going back, I'm looking at myself as a statistician, and I just started this company as a stats company back in 2025, Goat Stats. And at one time, I see me putting in the stats manually, but that could be replaced by AI. Or now, even the guy who was next to me as the game is going on, they're using AI to write up pretty much a summary of the game. And I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, it sounds so verbatim. It
Yeah,
sounds
like
like
it sounds perfect.
it
And
sounds perfect to verbatim. It sounds
Yeah.
like it's just like a
No
script. That's
emotion. No
no
emotion.
emotion, no feeling to it, no human factor. It's the same thing like right now when I'm watching baseball and now we have the challenge. Hey, use AI and freaking for the
I
base.
like that. I
I
like
mean,
the
I get
ABS.
it. I get it. We're going that concept, but there's got to be the human factor. There's got to be the guy, the blue. There's got to be a blue back there going strike and ball and all that because that's what we grew up. That's the American pastime. There's a reason why these games take 3 or 4 hours. You're passing time.
I know.
So taking away that would be great. I would be all for it. That's something I would back my bank into is definitely destroying AI and Elon and Steve Jobs and whoever else is running Bill Gates. Screw those guys, right? Because they're
Right.
trying to do everything. So
And
I
don't
get
even
you.
get me started on other stuff they've done.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. We don't get political on this show. But
No.
no, I agree. Coming from a former catcher, sorry, Drew, I disagree with you on the ABS. But the reason is because I was a former catcher and I would hate getting my calls taken away from me. So if I was able to tap my head, be like, hey, dude, that was a strike, check it. Okay, it was a ball. Sorry, I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. And the fact that it literally takes like 20 seconds to do, not like the other challenges that take like 5 hours to do. But I agree with you, Drew, because I do miss manager arguments. Tommy Lasorda would have the biggest meltdowns back in the day. I loved watching Tommy Lasorda. And then Mike Scioscia
You
with
think
Angels.
Tommy was bad? Just watch old clips of Billy Martin.
Pete Rose, Billy Martin,
You could go, the
Lou
list goes
Piniella,
on.
Lou Piniella. Oh, we could do this all day. I could do this all day, bro.
Bobby
My
Cox,
Bobby, yeah. Oh, Bobby Cox. Bobby Cox, I believe, had the most ejections in baseball
Jackson.
history. I believe
Yes.
so. Yeah.
my
So, but
question
yeah,
is, were you
but
good at framing pitches?
it's funny you say that. Drew will attest to this. If you literally throw something at me, I'll still do this, no matter what
Yeah.
it is. No matter what it is, it could be a piece of paper, or I'll do this. If you throw something low, I'll go like this, and it's automatic.
It's the catcher mentality, bro.
I was a catcher from age 8 to age 19, age
Okay.
18. So it at school, someone throws a pencil at you, you frame it. It's so weird. You automatically do it, and
Yeah.
when you're learning it, you're like, "What in the hell, coach, am I doing? What is this?" And now you just can't stop doing
Yeah,
it. I'm
exactly. It's the same.
41.
It's the
I'm
same
still
way.
doing it.
It's bro. It's like still like if you put me on a basketball court, I'm still gonna. I know the arc of how I throw the ball into the hoop, and it's just the shooter's touch. I'm like automatic.
Yeah,
Give me 15 feet in, and I'm gonna be making those all day. You don't want to feed me the
exactly.
ball. You don't.
Exactly.
You really don't.
So we're about a little over an hour and 20 in right now. We thank you so much, Devin, for sticking around the extra time. We're just about done. Again, quick recap. You were born in Houston, Texas, 2002. Make me feel old 'cause that's when I graduated. Grew up on a ranch. You had a big pig named Pepper who used to run through the house and knock people over. Mom went to FSU and played basketball, tried out for the Houston Comets. Dad ran track at LSU. You played football, baseball. Homeschooled till sixth grade. You've been to Morocco. You played in the Mecca. You played in the ABA. You love comics. You love poetry. You love art. I could do this all day, bro. It just shows how cool of a well-rounded dude you are. So I'm gonna go into my segment, which is ISO. My segment is always one versus one, something to do with ones. So mine, we're gonna go back to the comic book world because I really want to hear what you have to say on this because of your expertise.
All right. All
Uh,
right.
what NBA player do you feel, players plural, do you feel could play a comic book hero and a comic book villain? Any era.
Okay. So my favorite player is Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
And he got the little cyborg like little thing going on. Like, everybody's like, oh, he's a robot. So I feel like in DC Universe there is a
Yeah,
superhero named
Cyborg.
Cyborg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like, I'm like, okay, like he can line up with that. I'm like, or I feel like Kawhi could also go the other way and be just like,
Either or.
yeah, the
Okay.
villain who just not really talking. He just, comes in,
A
gets work done.
silent assassin type.
Yeah, basically
Okay.
like that. And then, or for me, I would say, what's his name? Obviously, easy pickings. LeBron would be Superman because it's like he's been doing this for a long time, and he's just like at this point, how do you stop? You know,
Okay.
it's like age is the only thing that's going to stop him at this
Yeah.
point. But it's just like
Okay.
it's like stuff like that.
Okay. So you got Leonard as a hero, an anti-hero, pretty much, hero and a villain. You got LeBron as the hero. What about like for a villain? I mean, someone like Michael Jordan. The dude put everybody down. Someone like Draymond Green. What's that other fool we talked about last week, Drew? The one who just got in trouble for whatever the hell he was doing.
Oh
The
God.
fight, the young guy.
Oh my
I
God.
forgot his name.
Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, him. What
Feels
about like
good.
Stewart? Someone like that, you know?
Okay, a
You got all these
villain,
instigators out there.
right?
They're out
So,
there.
in my tenure for working for the Suns,
Okay.
right, I was there
The
while
Phoenix Suns, ladies and gentlemen, not
yeah,
the Chula Vista Suns.
yeah.
Carry on.
I
Gotta
was working
clarify
for
that.
them while they were on their championship run to
Okay.
versus Milwaukee and everything.
Okay.
Devin Booker is like,
Really?
yeah, he's more like what's his
Who's
name?
that?
Victor Von Doom or Victor, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, Doom. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
because
Okay.
it's like on the surface,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna paint himself as like, oh, like,
A
I'm this,
victim.
I'm that. I'm
Yeah.
not a victim, but like, cool, like,
Okay.
I'm for my people kind of thing, whatever. This
Wow.
guy, the biggest trash talker in the league.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, very like on the surface, everybody, oh, I love him. He's cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing big things for the Suns, all this other stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, man, like y'all don't even know. I was like,
Yeah.
working there.
Yeah.
I
You
was like,
see things, you hear things. I blame the Kardashians. It's Kardashians' fault. They bring that extra stress.
yeah, those are
Yeah.
worst people in the world, by the way. I was on their private detail.
Okay. Oh my God, I can only
Yeah.
imagine. I worked at
Oh,
Disneyland when they would
so,
come in. So that's wild.
yeah.
That's an interesting list. I mean, Drew, who would you? I'm interested. Who would you pick?
As who?
A hero and a villain.
If it were going NBA only,
Yeah.
well, like you say, it's kind of like you think of like I think of a hero as somebody who comes in and saves the day, and you obviously a guy who does and saves everything. So sometimes your hero, in my opinion, would be like a Kobe because
Yeah.
there's like you could depend on Kobe. Kobe's gonna put it up and do what he does because he's got that Mamba mentality. He's not gonna let nothing back down. You could say Jordan too, but Jordan's the anti-hero sometimes. He's kind of like the Deadpool,
There you
but
go.
you
Okay.
can't kill him. You can't stop Jordan. So that would be like my hero things. If I was gonna go villain, oh, because like I said, someone who's been doing it for a long time and just like, oh man, it's like at first, it's like I see LeBron as the villain because
Especially now.
it's especially now and even the last years when he was even with Cleveland and won a championship there. I just feel longevity sometimes just doesn't equal greatness. And
I
it
feel
does. I mean, like I've been doing stats since I was heck collecting baseball cards when I was 5, 6 years old. And now I built a company out of it. And then even just like playing sports and stuff, it's like, bro, I gave you your flowers and you're
Hmm.
not satisfied with that, LeBron. It's like everybody has pretty much since high school, you've been labeled the chosen one. And I feel like that title came with you. Yeah, there's big responsibility, but it's like, bro, okay, you've been in the league 23 years. Everyone's giving you your flowers. Leave already. But you
Hmm.
decide to keep staying there, which makes you like villainous. And you could just see the atmosphere around him with the Lakers. My dad's a big Lakers fan. He's been a fan since 71. And he literally says every year to me, son, he's like, I'm love my Lakers to death. I want them to win a championship. I just don't want LeBron to get a damn ring.
Yeah.
Period. And it's like even he, as a Lakers fan, he still doesn't even count the 2020 year as a freaking championship. And this is talking to a Lakers fan for like 55 years now. He's like, I don't count that one, son. I
Hmm.
don't count it.
That
And
was a very
it's just,
interesting year.
I
it's
think the
crazy.
I think
Go
the
ahead.
bubble was the best basketball I've watched.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because you got like random guys like TJ Warren going off for like 60 points a game or something like that. And I'm just like, it was just like strictly who it was like AU vibes, you know? So
Oh,
it's
Well,
just
okay.
like,
what I saw in some of those games was kind of like, so this happened a couple games when I've done stats, is our scoreboard would go out. Sometimes at like some of these JUCOs I did. And one time we were running with no clock or scoreboard. So we had to manually they were putting scores on a chalkboard.
Oh my God.
And they were using a like a wind up clock on the table, which was hilarious. But it was funny. And it was the Grossmont College women's basketball one weren't very that good. They were terrible that year. But I feel like they played their best basketball because they didn't have a clock and a score to look up to
Yeah.
constantly when they were down. So that's what I feel like the bubble was. The bubble was kind of like no one's watching. I mean, we have cardboard cutouts. It's kind of silly. We're playing here at Epcot Center, but it's seriously, it's like nobody's really watching us. So I'm gonna go off, and it's like
Hmm.
those. It's kind of like Ricky. I'll bring a WWE reference into it. It's like the dark matches,
Yeah.
or it's like going to a
They go
house
all
show.
out. They go all out every time.
They go all out because they never know there could be someone scouting them.
Yep.
And I remember back in, I think it was '01 or '02, I went to like a WWF event. I'm bringing the F back.
You
And
always do.
and it was literally John. I saw John Cena when he was known as something else,
Prototype, I think.
prototype,
Yeah.
and he was just like this clean cut guy, and he had no persona, but he was going balls out literally in the match. It was
I
probably
hope
one
not.
of his best matches I've ever seen. And I'm literally like, dude's gonna probably do something in a couple years. This guy, if they build him up, he's probably gonna be somebody. And then,
Yeah.
granted, 2 years later, he has the matchup against Kurt Angle, and then
Ruthless aggression.
yeah, and then we saw it. So it's kind of like that's how I feel like the bubble was. I could agree with you with that. And that's just kind of like how it has to go when you say it. But if going back to Ricky's original question, the villain is always going to be LeBron in my eye, and then the hero is the Kobe Jordan.
Okay. All right. I like that. All right. Again, Devin, you've been sticking around so much extra time. We appreciate it so much. I'm going to give Drew his last final thought. I'll do my final thought, and then we'll get off on here, and then we'll give you what's going to happen after that. So, Drew, what's your final thought?
My final thought is just continue to keep doing successful things. You got a bright future. I mean, you could go down any street, any avenue, and I feel like any company or even just your own is going to be successful because you put your heart, your desire, your passion, your love for it. It's going to bring out the best in and everyone's going to benefit from it. So continue to do that. Great success, and good luck with this semi-final black game whenever that's going to be. God, the year, hopefully not in the year 2027.
God,
Um,
bro.
but it's gonna be you're gonna do well with the Hounds. I know it's gonna be a dogfight. No pun
Literally,
intended.
pun intended. Let's be real.
Pun intended. It's because it's a rematch from last year. So
Yeah,
kudos.
there's animosity there. So,
There
yeah,
you go.
I always have a question at the end, but first off, I agree with Drew. You have so many different ways you can go. I mean, God forbid, knock on wood, your hoop dreams in today, you have so much to fall back on right now. And you can carry that over to your kids, to your grandkids, nieces, nephews, your clients at your gym that I see. You got clients of all ages, it looks like back there.
yeah.
You can make a difference in somebody's life just by saying, hey, yeah, you're getting picked on at school, but you're good at this. Keep pursuing it. I mean, look at singer. There's singers out there that were bullied for a long time and they're making multi-billion dollars now, stuff like that, or just changing lives in an emotional standpoint. The way you talk about, hey, check out this art piece. What do you see? That human connection. And I love that vibe from you. Never lose that Silver Surfer thing. I love the answer you gave me for that because it shows who you are and how you carry yourself. So, with that said, um, I want to ask you, what advice would you give to athletes who are their parents are driving them, hey, do this, play basketball, play baseball, blah blah blah. You're so good. Do this. You have to be good. That school obviously, but you got to do this, you got to do that. But they have another side of them, but they're afraid to show it. What advice do you have to someone like that? Maybe a younger kid, middle schooler, high schooler, that's a killer athlete, but they're also a poet. I mean, this is a bad example, but like something like a High School Musical situation, Zac Efron was a singer, a dancer, but he was also the number one basketball player, something like that. What advice would you give to someone in that area?
One, don't there's a such thing as like basketball fatigue or like whatever you're doing. Like if you're constantly doing it every day, it becomes repetition, and then you just like you at this point, it just feels like a job, you know? It's just like, oh, like I'm coming in, like I have to go do this, I had to go do that. There's no love, there's no passion for it. So it's always good to be able to decompress and, just do what you want to do. Be you. It's just like, parents are gonna make you do whatever. I'm glad my mom didn't force me to play basketball.
Uh-huh.
Because as much as she wanted to be like, like, hey, like go dribble this ball in the driveway for an hour.
Yeah.
She let me come to it, and that's what she's always like thankful for. She's like, I'm so thankful that, you decide to play basketball and like, she didn't force upon me. My brother, he played basketball, wasn't his niche. He decided to do MMA and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so it's just like just be you, gravitate towards whatever you want to gravitate to. It's just like um trying to find the words for it. And I can't.
Mhm.
Little brain fog, but
You're all good.
it
No.
doesn't. Your your family's gonna love you no matter what.
Yeah.
So no matter what you decide to do, who you decide to be, it's like, hey, mom, like I like doing this, or like I like to,
Mhm.
like this is what I enjoy doing.
Mhm.
Basketball could be. It doesn't have to be the main focus of everything,
Mhm.
but it's just life takes its turns. I have a lot of friends that I made playing basketball and stuff like that. Friends who thought they were going to go to the league, go D1. A
Mhm.
lot of them, they're just like, hey, like this isn't for me anymore. It's just like I don't really want to do this.
Yeah.
So,
You
stuff
got to
like
go to
that.
other things in life.
Right.
And we always say, I mean, if you look at our logo, it says take your shot, but you notice it says life in the back.
Yeah.
And you'll hear my sign off. You've heard my sign off before. You'll hear my sign off again today. But it's not just a picture, it's a lifestyle. So, again, Drew probably his battery died or something. We're the last two standing, I guess. Again, this was episode number 81, the Silver Slam Dunker with Devin Smith. We're all exhausted here, but I appreciate you coming on, in Arizona, out in Tucson, Arizona. We got Drew in San Diego, George was in the Valley. I'm out here in Norwalk, California. Um, just an awesome story, and not even just hoops, Devin. The fact that you have so much extra stuff, I can't emphasize it. It goes a long way to you as a person. When I first met you, I'm like, this guy's a superstar. This guy is a basketball superstar. I knew nothing else. When I did my research, I was like, wow, there's so much more to this guy than meets the eye. And that goes a long, long way in life. So don't lose that ever. So again, I want to thank you so much. Again, we're sponsored by E1 Connect Marketing. Donovan Hilton of Take Your Shot Media Crew presents Double Dribble episode number 81, the Silver Slam Dunker with Devin Smith. On behalf of the Go Baller George Ochoa, the agent Drew. I'm Double R Ricky Rodriguez. We want to thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we get extreme with episode 82, Team Extreme with Buffalo Extreme, number 2 ranked team in the country. Their owner, coach or owner Ryan Gallo will be with us. And then on the 15th, playoff pending, we will be talking to for episode 83, The Shining Star with Nova Star captain Patrick Rittman. It's going to be a lot of fun. Devin, we love you, brother. Thank you so much. God
Thank,
bless and stay safe out there, man.
yeah, thank you for having me. Bear
Thank
down,
you.
everybody.
Absolutely. Peace out, dude. And
Later.
remember one more thing before we sign off.
Yeah.
Remember, life is hard. Time is hard. Remember, when life hands you the ball, everybody say it. Take your shot. We're out of here.